Ciao, jewelry making friends. My name is Joey Balestrieri. Welcome to my work table. I am super excited today because I got my bargain bead box for the month of June in the mail. It is called Sunken Treasure and I love it. I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know how they consistently month after month come up with something fresh and different and beautiful and timely. But if you guys are following the jewelry trends, then you know that seashell jewelry is really on trend for this summer. And I've lived in Florida since I was 3 years old. So for me, like cheesy seashell things, I live in a culture where people move here and glue seashells on their trash cans and everything else. And you know, my mother loved to do that. It was her therapy. But I really love elegant oceanic jewelry and accessories, and with our supplies from Bargain Bead Box this month, that's what we are getting. So I have designed a collection here. I'm going to do a necklace and 2 pairs of earrings, and they're super easy. Any skill level can do this with totally basic tools, and almost everything that I am using is in this month's box except for some oval jump rings. So it is so cool. So I have out here a few of these little gemstones that are new to me. They're called Mayfinite. They are 8mm, and I'm also going to be using some of this Malaysia jade, which is the dyed quartz. And I loved the patinaed findings in this box. And if you didn't see my unboxing, then some of this information will be new to you, and I can actually link my unboxing below. But we received as a bonus 20 brass ball head pins, which I love. We received these gorgeous ear wires that have the little shell motif, so I'll be using those. And we received this stainless steel textured oval jewelry chain, which is one of my favorite chains. So I just had a blast. I actually was already designing when I was unboxing everything. So let's jump into the earrings first. So I'm going to do this pair of earrings first, and they are super simple. I have taken 2 of those brass ball head pins, and I just made sure that they were really straight. Like, I made sure that I straightened both of them out perfectly. And the reason being is that I want this brass head pin to be my earring drop and have this little collection of beads and findings just dangling at the end of the little ball head pin. So I took one of those beautiful frosted Malaysia jade beads, one of the patinaed bead caps. Look how gorgeous. It just snuggles right down and just beautiful. And then one of the little patinaed bicone beads. They just have such a nice weight, and I did the same thing on both of these. Now, the reason that I didn't make one ahead like I sometimes do is because I need to make a measurement on both of them the same. So I'm going to use a Sharpie marker to do that, and I'll show you kind of what I'm going for. I'm actually wearing these earrings today that I made for the summer, and I love the length of them. So I'm going to lay them there, and I'm going to try to get this earring about the same length. They just came out at that sweet spot for me. So I'm going to make a little mark on my wire, and the brass is very dark and my marker is black, so it's a little bit tricky to see, but I think I can do it. And I'm going to come in with my other earring and just line up my 2 pins and get a mark on both of them. That looks pretty good to me. And now I am going to grab my smallest size of the 1-step looper. I'll be using both of these today, the 2¼ millimeter and the 1½ millimeter. And I just love this tool. For one thing, I have a video coming on a fabulous handmade artisan chain. I'm really excited about it. I've been working on it for several days and the video is coming. So my hand is kind of bothering me, and so these 1-step looper tools really save your hand if you deal with any kind of arthritis or hand pain. At least they do me. So the other thing I love is for earrings like this. Both of my loops are going to be exactly the same because this tool is really consistent. So I'm going to thread this head pin through the tool, through the guide hole in the back, and I'm going to find my little mark that I made right there, and I'm going to place the front, it's a little far back, I'm going to place the front jaw of this tool on the mark that I made for my earrings, and when I close this tool, it will do everything in one step. Make a fresh cut on the wire, wrap the brass head pin around that mandrel so I'm getting my loop, and now I can take this wire and just pull it down while the tool is holding it. So even I know this is very dark and this is a black tool, but what I just did is center this loop on the head pin, and then when I take it away, I got a really perfect loop. These brass head pins are very sturdy, so the tool is not super happy with that. Even though it's a fine gauge, it's pretty sturdy. So I'm just going to make sure that loop is closed really, really well with my plier. Just get in there and do that. And now I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other one. So I see my little mark right there, and I am just going to repeat. Just get the front jaw of the plier right there, and before I close it, I'm just going to make sure. Okay, and just close the tool and just pull that wire down and just close that little loop really well. I love the quality of the brass head pins, but they are really tough. They don't move as easily as wire. And so this little, oh, I see this one is still open a little bit too much. There, I got it that time. Let me do the same thing to this one. I love the, I love kind of like the stick or the bar type earring. I do this design a lot in different formations with my beads at the bottom, and we got these beautiful shell as I showed you, but I love my lever back earrings that are gold filled and they're interchangeable, so they have that little loop there, and I am just going to not put an ear wire on this. I'm going to add them to my jewelry wardrobe. Because of the brass that's shiny here, I'm perfectly happy with the way that they look on my interchangeable ear wires, and I'll just add them to my jewelry wardrobe, and I just think that is absolutely stunning. And then I'm putting high quality metal in my ears. I can wear fashion jewelry, and I know a lot of people with metal sensitivity, they are okay with brass, so you'll have to determine that for yourself. But I'm going to make my second pair on the pretty shell earrings that came in the box, but my first pair I'm just going to leave without an ear wire, and they're going to get worn just like that. I just love that simple, fast, easy pair of earrings, and I love the dangle. They are just absolutely beautiful and sweet. I love those. I put my other earring back on that I was wearing. My second pair of earrings is really simple, just connecting. I'm using one of those beautiful gemstone beads and the shell, and four or five, let me see what I did here, 5 little links of the chain. So it ends up looking like that. And I know it's a terrible camera angle for you to see, but these are so flirty and fun and dangly, and I just love just the 5 little links of chain. And of course, if you wanted a shoulder duster, you could make the chain part a lot longer. I didn't want them to get too heavy because this is a solid seashell charm that is 2-sided. I absolutely love those, and I wanted like this movement because this charm is actually different on each side. So I just thought that was a great way to showcase this beautiful brass seashell. So what I'm going to do is do that same thing on this little drop with my 1-step looper, and I will tell you why. Because the material that I used for this little component was leftover brass from these ball head pins that came in the box. It's such a high quality, and I was practicing. I did a couple of little, not practicing, I was like doing a prototype for my next video, and I had a little scrap left over, and that's what I made that ball out of. So I'm gonna do that same thing, bring my 1-step looper in and just make a little charm here, and same exact thing that I just showed you. And like I said, this brass is really tough, so the 1-step looper is struggling a little bit to close it all the way as the loop gets smaller, so I have had to go in and finish with my pliers. But that gives me a beautiful little piece of brass that matches everything else to do my loops for my little component for this earring. And what I did on this one is the 1.5 millimeter loop at the top and the 2 1/4 here, just because I wanted to make sure that my seashell charm moved freely. So I wanted it to have a little bit larger loop on the bottom. So we can start off by getting a loop in one side, and when you're doing a loop on an empty piece of wire with no beads, you don't need to push it all the way through the guide hole, because that just wastes wire. The tool only needs this wire to go past the back jaw so that it can make that clean cut and wrap that little wire around the mandrel. So it makes that little clean cut for us, and then I'll do that same thing, just pull the wire down so that loop is centered. And like I said, on this brass, it's really tough, so the tool's doing its best, but every single loop that I've made with this brass has been a little bit open for that reason, but I don't mind. I can, in fact, I'm gonna open it and close it again anyway. So let me grab my 2 1/4 so I can thread my bead on and get a larger loop at the bottom. And let's see, I have to make sure that my orientation, I want it to be going in the same direction so that my seashell hangs facing forward. So the 1-step looper makes a loop going up that way, and I'm going to do the same thing. And this time I will use the guide hole and get my bead in, but I want to make sure that I pull it away like 1 millimeter or so from this front jaw of the plier, so I don't put any stress on my bead, and also so I have enough space to pull that bead back. And like I said, the brass is a little tough for this tool, so I'm going to go in with my pliers, but you can make your little corrections on your loop while it's still in the tool. But see, this little tool is a wonderful thing, and it really saves your hand, but it's struggling with this brass. So let me look at my first earring, and I used that side of the seashell, and let's see, I want the larger loop for the seashell. I get questions sometimes about the 1-step looper because I use it a lot and I really love it, and I do get questions about the 3 sizes and why you would need all 3 sizes. So this is an example. If you have like a little thickness like on this charm and you need a little bit larger loop, the larger size is great for that. I find the larger size is also great for beaded chain, because it moves more freely. Your chain is a little bit more movable. But I always say that if you only have a budget for one, or you just want to try one, that 2 1/4, the one that I used on here, is the medium size, and it's great for most things. So I stopped closing this one up because here I'm going to add in my little piece of chain to that open loop. Maybe I might even have to open it a little bit further. Let's see. Okay. And then this time I do want to make sure that it's closed really well, because I don't want to lose my little chain. That looks pretty good. Okay, and now I can go to my beautiful little shell ear wire that came in the box and just very carefully open this ear wire and thread my chain right on, and my second pair of earrings is done. Isn't that the cutest little earring? I absolutely love those. As I said, super easy, very elegant, chic beachwear, and any skill level can make it. I absolutely love these. Those are these are my favorites. I just think they're so classy. I really love them. Okay, so I have my extra little beads here, and I'm going to dive into this very quick necklace project. And again, any skill level could make this necklace, because this is a matter of cutting your chain and opening and closing a jump ring. So what I plan to do here, I took 28 inches of the chain that came in the box, and what I plan to do is on around in the around right here, I'm going to cut a link. In fact, I'm just going to pull out of the camera real quick and put this around my own neck before I make that cut right here. I'll explain. Let me make the cut and then I'll explain what I'm planning to do with this necklace. I really loved the toggles that came in this month's box, and I also, just FYI, using my junky cutters because this is stainless steel, so I like to keep my really sharp good cutters really sharp and good. So that's why I did that. So what I have here now is a little short length of chain and then my longer length, and I am going to come right here, and let's see, I want to do it this way, and I'm going to bring in some of these oval jump rings that I just had in my stash. And honestly, I believe this is literally the only thing that I have taken from my own stash on these projects. This box was so amazing. I was so excited when I opened it. And like I said, any skill level, because we're going to be opening and closing a jump ring. And I happen to have these oval jump rings, so they're working for me just fine. But I'm going to attach the open part of the toggle just like so, and then I am going to take another one of these oval jump rings and attach my other half of my chain right here. I know that you guys, probably quite a few of you, are saying, what the heck is she doing? But I actually received this box, opened it. I had to take my son to a medical appointment, and the whole time all I could think about is this little design. I just had this in my head. I don't know why. The beads and the findings that we got, just, that's what they said to me. Now on this end here, I am going to place the other end of the toggle. And I love this toggle. It has the embossing on both sides. And I'm just going to put it right there. And then we're going to move on to the things that we're going to dangle. So this is a front closure toggle. So this will go in this way. and close like that. And I am going to take my beautiful flower Amazonite pendant. Everyone in the box, no two of these will be alike, but I fell in love with mine because it has that classic Amazonite color, that, you know, pale blue-green watercolor, but it had a lot of striations and like darkness in it, which for me, I just said that is absolutely perfect with the brass chain. I just loved it. So I'm going to do something a little unusual. I really think that a beginner can do this, but maybe it is a little bit strange. So I actually tried it and then I cut it away so that I could take you step by step through it. I'm going to take one of these ball head pins and I'm going to feed it through the front of this little pendant so that the ball is right there. And then I am going to, I don't want to put too much stress on the top of my pendant, although it's pretty thick, so it can really take it. But pull the ball tight, and I just want to hug the ball head pin up to the back, just like that. And so honestly, it's like I could almost leave it like that. I could do a simple loop. I am going to do a wire wrapped loop here, which is going to seem strange because, you know, there's like space here, but I'm going to come with my pliers like right at the top of the pendant and do a 90-degree bend and like a regular wire wrapped loop. Need round nose pliers for that, and I'm just going to put them in. And as I said, this is brass, so it is a little tough to wire wrap. Like I said, the one-step looper is having a little trouble. It's a little tougher than regular wire, but it can be done. And so I just wrapped it over, rotate my plier out of the way. I have to have a really good grip for this and bring this around to the front and just roll my wrist back and get that loop centered right above the point of the pendant, and then take that away. Like I say, I like a really nice neat loop, but this brass is tough, but I like it. I think it's so pretty. And then I'm going to get, again, a really good grip here and just make those wraps. I'm going to just wrap right down as far as I can go. Like if I can get to the back of the pendant. This, because it's brass, like when you wrap it, it wants to bounce back. It's like really strong, really, really nice head pins, which is what gave me this idea because they're so nice. And I do like to trim off in the back of a piece, and I'm going to use my because it's brass, I'm going to use my junkier cutters. And I did find when I did my little prototype that it took a little bit to tuck in the cut end because it's, you know, really nice and stiff. But again, it can be done. And see, I still feel a little bit of sharpness there, so I'm going to come back. Much better, much better. So that is what we have, and the pendant will, once it's attached, it will move freely. And I'm going to come right here to the front of my necklace and add this with a jump ring. I mean, this necklace is most of the way done. This is how simple these projects are. Let's see, I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, and so I have like this little pendulum at the bottom, and I just loved the toggle. As I said, I just really loved this. I think it's so pretty, the embossing on it. So from here, I was playing with these little charms and to add a little bit more interest to this piece. So this one is already made, and then I was kind of stacking some beads with another one of the ball head pins, and I kept some of these little beads out here so that I can decide how much I want to add. And I think what I'm going to do, I always do this, let me just pull out of the view of the camera really quickly, and I'll try not to hit my microphone. I just want to put this on my own neck. And I'm sorry, you guys, that you know, I wish I could easily turn my camera around and show you how this looks. It's so cute. I love this idea. But I'm doing this part just so that I can see if I want to add one more drop, or, you know, what I want to add. Decision made. I didn't even stand up and go to the mirror, but I already made the decision. I am going to add this little seashell right there, and I think I'm going to come down right here with that. And this one is a little bit heavy. It's just a little bit heavy with the 3 beads. Let me lay my necklace out again. Seashell right there. And I think maybe I'll take one of these off and do that. That is what I'm going to do. So I need 3 more jump rings, and I'm going to get a simple loop in this one, just the way we've been doing. Like I say, I will put this back in the little baggie because that makes such a nice component. And I am going to close these loops really well and add them onto the chain with a jump ring, because I just find that it hangs more nicely. Okay, let me make sure this one is closed really well as well. Really well as well. Is that even English? Okay. And this is just a simple connect, connect, connect. So easy. And this part is so exciting, especially when a design was literally this simple. It's so much fun. It's not labor intensive. There's nothing tedious or frustrating about a design like this. It's just lovely. I'm going to add my little seashell. And I love kind of, this is like beach chic. This is a little bit minimalist and very comfortable to wear because it's not heavy, it's light. And I could just see this with a bathing suit cover up, or just a white t-shirt and, you know, like capri pants or shorts. Like, it's so pretty. I just love the simplicity of this design. And then I'm just going to pick a couple of spots on my drop beneath my toggle and add these. And I think I'm going to put this one, let's see, right about here. Oh, I just love that. How pretty. I know laying on my mat, it's probably not giving you the sense that it's a beautiful piece, but I love it. I really love it. I'm gonna come right about here with this jump ring. Whoops. Okay, this piece is finished. How lovely is that? I will take this over to Gabriella Eva and hang it, because that's going to be the only way to truly see how unique and elegant and chic this necklace is. But I am just so thrilled with it. It really features that pretty toggle, and it's easy on and off because it's front closure and it's lightweight. You see all these beautiful beads, but it's not heavy with beads, which I chose that because there were 8 and 10 millimeter beads. And so anyway, this was a super fun, super easy, super fast project. I have a whole collection of earrings and, you know, that I can alternate, wear alone or mix and match. And I am coming back with another project. I loved the little porcelain turtles in this box and the lava beads that were white, and I cut them open already. They have a really nice size holes in them, and I am so excited for my project with those. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate if you do that and tap the bell notification, so then when I upload my next video, you don't miss the notification. And also, if you have not taken a look at Bargain Bead Box, it is fabulous. I highly recommend it. I don't know how a jewelry maker can live without it. That's what I always say. I have a discount code, and I'll put that in the description box under the video. And I don't know if I mentioned, but you can still shop the sister website if you are not a subscriber. You just don't get the 30% off. But if you do subscribe to receive the monthly box, there is a coupon code on your packing slip, on your insert, that you can use over and over and over again, as many times as you want, to shop all month long and get 30% off of your order. And it's the prices are already amazing. And then when you take that 30% off, it's just really a great deal. It's such a wonderful resource for jewelry makers. So I will leave that information in the description box, as well as my email. If you have not sent me your little pet photos, the wildlife around your house, and what's going on around your work tables, I would still love to have them. I thank you so much for choosing my video today. Out of everything there is to watch on YouTube, I'm so grateful that you're here, and I hope you're all safe and well and having a fabulous start to summer. Thanks a lot, everybody. Ciao, jewelry making friends.